In this video, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly about Chandler David Smith's real estate investing course. This might be a course that you're looking at purchasing, or you're thinking about it, you saw it, and you're wondering, hey, is this actually worth it? Now, the course that we're going to be reviewing here today is his original course, and a lot of the information is going to be revamped and coming out in the near future. So if you are thinking about making a purchase on this course, know that some things may look a little bit different. I will remake this video and post a comment down below showing you the link to that new video when it comes out, but I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there real quick. So who is Chandler David Smith? What do you need to know about him? Well, he kind of blew up on the YouTube scene over the last couple of years, and he's really known for his energetic personality, his funny laugh, his crazy tenant stories that he's had that he's documented on his channel, and also the fact that he, has a knack for buying high income producing real estate. In fact, at the time of this recording, I think he's just over 160 units of rental real estate, and he also has about 150 or so storage units as well. So that's a little bit of a different class of real estate, but still produces income at a very high level. So he obviously knows a thing or two about real estate and what he's talking about. And if you just watch his channel, you'll see that he's living a life based on, what he's been able to accomplish with his real estate income. He's got numerous supercars. He's building a dream house that's like 15,000 square feet and on like 2 acres with an indoor swimming pool and basketball court. It's pretty insane. You can go check that stuff out on his channel if you want to. But the purpose of this video is to talk a little bit about his investing course and whether you should explore buying it or, maybe staying away. I don't know. We're going to cover all that stuff here. I'm going to give you my honest review and give you my opinion on what I think this course is, who this course is good for, and if you should consider buying it. Now, also in the description box below or in the pinned comments, you will see a discount code. If you apply that discount code when you go and check out on Chandler David Smith's real estate investing course, you are going to get a discount for that. So consider using that if you're thinking about purchasing this course. All right, let's jump into things. So let me go ahead and make myself a little bit smaller. We're going to jump into the course here and show you a little bit about what it looks like on the inside. Now, like I said, this is the first version of his course, and he's enrolled thousands of students into this course, and a lot of them have posted really good reviews about this course. So we're going to go through it here. I'm not going to go into all the videos or anything like that. I just want to show you an overview of what this is and what my thoughts are about the course overall. So there's an introduction here. It talks about intro real estate investing overview, part 1, part 2. This is basically just him describing, hey, here's why you should invest in real estate. Here's how it works. Here's kind of a grand scheme, overview of what the real estate investing process looks like, why you're doing it, how you're going to make money, what the rough numbers look like. And then as we go further into the course here, you'll actually get into the details and the nuances of each individual section. So that's kind of just an intro right there. Next, we've got choosing your market. Where should I invest? Finding a market. This is a part where he says, hey, maybe just invest in your backyard if it makes sense, or possibly look at other areas. Just know that there's going to be some additional hiccups that come up if you're investing in an area that's not close to you. So it's a very basic standard part of the course, but it's a question that a lot of people have. So I think there's a lot of good content there, because you do get some people who are maybe like, let's say in California or New York City or Seattle, where real estate is just crazy expensive and it doesn't really make sense. So maybe those people do need to look outside of their own current market to get started with real estate investing. So there's going to be pros and cons to both. It just kind of depends on what's the right fit for you. Now, he also talks about understanding your market. So finding your sub-market. What types of properties are you looking at in your market? Timing the market. And then also property classification. So this is a really important one because there's tons of different types of properties out there. A, B, C, D. Your A-class properties are going to be the brand new office building or the brand new apartment, whereas your D-class neighborhoods and properties are going to be, probably the properties that you don't want to go out after dark, right? You're not going to be safe walking the street. So it's really important to have this information here. He also talks about getting financing, how to get pre-approved, which loan you need, what do I need to get pre-approved, how to pick the right loan and lender. So there's a lot of information about this that I think is really important, and it's all about understanding your market and then getting a financing first, right? If you're going for the traditional route of just purchasing something with like a conventional loan or an FHA loan, then getting that financing lined up first is going to be critical, but you shouldn't get bogged down in the details of that. So there's a lot of additional financing tips that are going to come later on in the course, and that will help you as you get a little bit more advanced in the real estate world. So if you're just if you're just a beginner getting started, that's definitely going to be the right section for you. If you already own 1, 2, 3 properties, you're probably looking at it thinking, you know what, I already know how to get a loan. I already know how to get pre-approved. So you can probably, skim through that really quick. Now, next up, he's got liability, LLC, and insurance set up. So this, I think just kind of the positioning of this actual topic right here is a little bit off. This should be something that's at the very end and kind of a bonus resource, in my opinion. Getting an LLC set up and getting an insurance policy is important, of course, but getting that LLC set up right from the beginning, 99% of investors don't need to worry about that as part of how to get started in real estate investing. I own 20 units, and just barely about 3 months ago, I just barely transferred everything over to official LLCs for each individual property. And that's after I acquired, multi-millions of dollars worth of real estate and had 20 doors. So this is something that, sure, you can maybe do it a little bit earlier than I did, but don't let it slow you down to learn the real estate investing process, thinking, oh, I need to get an LLC and I need to get a business and I need to protect myself from liability and all this stuff. So I think this one could be placed a little bit differently. Still really good content. Just don't get bogged down in the details of that right now. Also, these two sections, I think the same thing: building your team, how to build your team of contractors, agents, lenders, property managers, anybody you need. That he talks a little bit about that here. Again, I think that should be kind of a bonus resource towards the end. So maybe you want to kind of skip this and come down here to actually creating and finding deals and analyzing deals. The last thing before we skip it is picking a management company. Again, I think that should be at the bottom of the list. Not a huge deal. It's still really valuable content. How to find a management company, setting and collecting rent. How is your management company collecting rents? And then maintenance and repairs. So how he handles all that. And I think this is something that Chandler does better than anybody else out there. He's got a really good relationship with his property manager. And for me, I've self-managed everything so far, but I've been looking at getting a property manager, but man, they just seem really expensive and they don't really seem like they're providing a whole lot of value to me. So that's not something that I've done personally, but I know that Chandler has definitely succeeded in that. And he's really good at getting the maintenance and repairs under budget and, keeping his management company on the hook for, making sure that they're not overspending and that they're managing the property correctly. So if anything, I think that picking a management company and running the property manager, that is definitely one of Chandler's strengths. A lot of other real estate investors struggle with that, but I think Chandler's definitely got it figured out. So that's my only feedback there. I think this should be, kind of pushed towards the bottom because you don't need to worry about a management company until you have a property picked out and purchased, right? So don't get worried about that right up at the front. So coming down here, creating and finding deals, analyzing deals, and negotiating financing. So this is probably the most important part of the entire program and the entire course. So creating and finding deals is extremely important. And then you have to analyze those deals. If you get really, 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 really good at this, you can make millions of dollars. It's not that hard. It does take time. It does take effort. It does take skill, but it's not going to be, if you can really just get this figured out, you could fail the rest of everything and still have a ton of success here in this course and even just in real estate investing overall, right? So creating the deal, finding the deal, and then analyzing it to make sure it's actually a deal is so critical. And it's such a big part of the process. So the thing that I want to mention here is don't get bogged down in the details of how to, run analysis on the numbers or how to, what if this happens or what if vacancy's higher? What if repairs are higher? What if rents aren't, what I think they'll be? Don't get bogged down in that. Just trust that, hey, it's all a math equation. If as long as you've done your research, you've done your, put in the effort to find out, what those numbers should actually be based on, the average in your market, you'll be just fine. So he talks about that here with the downloading the rental calculator app, understanding the spreadsheet, how to analyze a deal, part 2, using the rental calculator and the spreadsheet. So this is really, really good information right here. Absolutely love it. I think this is probably where the gold is in this course. If you've taken other courses before, you probably realize, hey, most of the value in these courses comes from just, 1, 2, 3, 4 videos where you're going to pick up something that really changes your life and really gives you something to implement in your business to make a massive change, right? So you might spend, let's say $1,000 on this course or whatever the price is at the time of, you watching this. Let's say you spend $1,000, but if you get one piece of knowledge that gets you a new deal or brings you in $100 a month in cash flow and gets you a new property, that course is going to pay for itself over and over and over, many times over. So I think that getting that one golden nugget, this is where you're going to find it: creating and finding deals, analyzing deals. Negotiating deals is really important as well. Of course, that's the other half of it. Once you've analyzed it, then you can go through and you can actually negotiate the deal, talk to the seller, talk to the agent, the wholesaler, whoever it's going to be, and discuss putting in an offer and then how to negotiate those deals. So again, a ton of really good information here. Talks a little bit about negotiating financing. This is great, especially if you're talking about like seller financing or lease options or anything like that. Usually with traditional financing, there's not a ton of negotiating you can do until you get into really big multi-million-dollar deals. But this is still a great section. He also talks about due diligence, how to do your due diligence on inspection and financials, and then a little bit of renegotiation around that. And coming down here, we're going to talk about, property closing, how to take ownership, how to add value. Again, this is a really important part of the process. I know that a lot of the properties that Chandler's bought have been undervalued. The rents are super low. They're owned by mom and pop investors, and he's been able to go in and add value to the property, clean them up, fix them up, and then raise rents after that, which is this section right here. So again, a ton of value there. If you can figure out how to add value to a property the effective way, you could save $5, $10, $15,000 per unit if you're buying multi-units. And again, that's going to make the course pay for itself many times over. So something I definitely think is worth it if you're looking at purchasing property. If you can just figure out one way to, hey, I never thought about that, but maybe I should buy used appliances, or maybe I should try to find, a cheaper window supplier or whatever it might be. If you can figure out how to add value at a cheaper cost, it's going to pay for the course over and over. And then he's also got systemization and checks and balances, and then bringing everything together, and then read this. So, and then there's some additional content here at the bottom, right? 1031 exchanges, house hacking, renovations. This is kind of just a miscellaneous section. So the systemization of real estate is really important, especially as you start to scale. You really have to have your systems in place, and then those checks and balances to make sure that properties are actually doing what you expect them to do. Because what I've noticed with my properties is when I go to the end of the year and I'm filling out my profit and loss statement, I might realize, wow, I thought this property was cash flowing $1,000 a month, but I really only made about $400 a month. I had that happen last year on one of my properties. I thought I was absolutely crushing it. Then I went back and checked the expenses, and I had a couple big expenses that kind of wiped out a large portion of my cash flow. So having those checks and balances is important. And then it also talks about, some other minor things like 1031 exchanges, how to get started with house hacking, and how to do better renovations, and then also some additional content here. So the thing that I love about this course is if you're looking at this, you might be thinking, you know what? There's not a ton of videos or sections in here. There's only 43 sections that are actually in here. I don't know why it says 43 completed. Anyway, I've been through a lot of the course, but I guess it didn't mark it as being completed. So anyway, 43 videos here in the course. You might be looking at that thinking, that's not a ton of content. But the thing I love about it is that's actually everything you need to know, right? If we talk about what we discussed here, creating and finding the deals, analyzing the deals, negotiating it, how to do your due diligence, getting the financing, understanding your market, picking a management company, all of these sections covers everything you need to know about real estate investing. And that's it. I see too many first-time investors, get bogged down in these courses and just finding information. They get that analysis paralysis where they just get too much information and then never take steps to actually implement what's going on. So what I'd recommend is, as you're going through this course, if it's your first time, you literally go through it and it says getting pre-approved. Which loan should I get? What do I need to get pre-approved? Go through this process and actually do that, side by side, right? Watch the video, then contact your lender and say, okay, I need to get pre-approved. What do I need to do? And start that process and start taking action on those steps. So I think that's one of the beautiful things about it for this course is that it's just very simple. It's very straightforward, and it has everything you need to know. The last thing that I want to mention on the course as well is that this is kind of a criticism. I wish that his videos were a little bit more, I wish there was some change of scenery or change of pace. Almost every single video is going to be him in his office, just like you can see here kind of in the background. It's going to be him in his office just talking about this. So let me just turn the sound off for a sec. So this is basically just his video, and it's him talking in the office just like I am to you, but every single video is like that. So I wish there was a little bit of change of scenery, maybe some B-roll footage on top, or maybe some, some point in the video where, he's actually out on site taking a tour around the property saying, hey, here's how you do a renovation. Here's what you should look for. Here's what you should look for on inspections, stuff like that. I think would be really helpful for a lot of people to kind of visualize and to kind of break up the monotony of the course itself. So that kind of wraps everything up, guys. Again, if you're thinking about purchasing the course, make sure to use the discount code in the description box below, or that comment that it'll be the pinned comment here in the video. Make sure to use that, and then you'll get enrolled into the course. And I think you'll find a ton of value from this. So there's a lot of courses out there. Some are good, some are bad. I think there's definitely no denying that Chandler's course is actually one of the best courses out there, in my opinion. I've been through a lot of these, and I think that it's actually one of the best ones. And you can see the evidence that he knows what he's talking about, and everything that he tells you is the exact same stuff that he's implementing in his own business. So I think that's one of the best things about it. You can go watch his channel, you can follow his journey and his story, and know that, hey, yeah, this guy's legit. He's actually making it happen. He's got the supercars. He's got the house. He's got, he's had a ton of financial wealth and success. Of course, he's got a job and stuff and other things that bring in income, but a large part of that is from his real estate career. So that's a really cool thing about it. I personally would really endorse this course. I think it's a great option. If you think about investing in yourself, then definitely go ahead and purchase this course. I think it's going to be some of the best money that you would ever spend. And relatively speaking, guys, $1,000 is not a whole lot of money in the grand scheme of things. If you can get even just 1, 2, or 3 nuggets that might save you tens of thousands of dollars time after time, as you go from property to property. So with that said, guys, I think it's definitely worth it. Thank you for watching. Share this video with a friend or a family member who's also interested in real estate investing. They might find some value in it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.